When we talk about fraternities and sororities, it's easy to get lost in the symbols, the colors, the letters, the traditions, but behind every letter is a person, a son, a daughter, a teacher, a mentor, a believer. For generations, Black Greek organizations have been filled with people who love their communities and who love their God more. People who wake up early on Sunday morning to sit in church pews. People who pray before they make difficult decisions. People who teach their children scripture, their students discipline. These organizations were not built to replace faith. They were built by people of faith. Men and women who believed that service was sacred work. Men and women who believed leadership was responsibility. Men and women who believed that lifting others was the highest expression of love. Look closely at the faces in these pictures. You'll see pastors, deacons, Sunday school teachers, choir members, mission leaders, people who have spent decades serving their fraternities and even longer serving their faith. Maybe that's why we forget that part sometimes. Because institutions don't love. People do. Institutions don't serve. People do. And behind the letters, behind the traditions, behind the history, are thousands of people who believe deeply in faith, family, community, and purpose. People who believe that you are who you are because God says you are, not because of what you wear, what letters you have on your chest. And that is the measure of life, not our symbols, but the lives we live along the way testify for us. Because in the end, the letters were never meant to replace faith. They were meant to remind us to live it. Hey everybody, how we doing out there? I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. And today I want to discuss a topic that's going to be a long-term discussion for me. It's not going to be something that happens one time and I'm done, because I think there's a lot to be said here. There's a lot behind certain things that go on in the world, in the community, and every once in a while you kind of have to deal with the circumstances that are presented to you, right? Like you don't pick your fights. A lot of times your fights pick you. This is one of those situations where I feel as if I've waited and I've waited and I've waited for someone to have a response, and no one said anything. So it's bothered me, and I want to talk about this situation. I want to talk about and explore this as good as I can. I want to bring some nuance and some clarity to it, because I think that people are missing the plot trying to make a point. Let us look at this today and see what we come up with. So apparently, I'm in a cult. I mean, that's what I learned recently. I woke up one morning, checked my phone, and discovered that somewhere between Sunday school and alumni dues, I had joined a secret society bent on spiritual destruction of the whole black race. Nobody told me nothing. I don't remember signing a soul contract. Nobody handed me a ceremonial goat. And if this is a cult, somebody owes me better snacks at the meeting, because I'm telling you, we ain't doing it right. But seriously, over the last few months, I've noticed something happening. Fraternities and sororities, especially Black Greek organizations, have suddenly become controversial inside parts of the Black church. They've gone from being viable organizations that bring great things to the community to being these dangerous things. Now all of a sudden we're dangerous, we're secretive, we're suspicious. And I'm sitting here thinking, wait, when did we become villains? I mean, let me say this up front. This is not a blind defense. Don't get me wrong. Every institution deserves examination. Churches need accountability. Families need accountability. Pastors need accountability. Yes, even fraternities and sororities as well. But accountability and panic are not the same thing. This dialogue is out of control. And what I'm seeing right now feels less like careful theology and more like reaction videos with robes. People trying to get clicks. I joined a fraternity for the same reason most young black men do. I was looking for brotherhood, mentorship. I was looking for community. Nobody recruited me with candles and mysterious chanting. They recruited me with service projects, leadership, and older brothers saying, hey, young man, we expect more from you. And which honestly is terrifying enough in itself, if you're really gonna be honest. I mean, let's talk about something uncomfortable. Our community has a rite of passage problem for our young men. We celebrate birthdays, we celebrate graduations, but very few moments exist where a young man is formally told, you are now a responsible adult. Historically, cultures have had initiations into adulthood. Today, a lot of boys just get older and they stay boys. Fraternities stepped into that gap. Fraternities became places where rites of passage could be established and could make better men. Fraternities say you belong to something bigger than yourself. You represent more than your individual choices. You carry a legacy. And believe it or not, young men need structure. I mean, come on. Because Instagram comments are not meant to be mentorship. Arguments online on Facebook, they're not meant to be mentorship. You understand? Here's what confuses me. The same organization being criticized today are the same ones that have been funding scholarships, mentoring kids, organizing water drives, feeding communities for generations. If fraternities are a cult, it's the only cult I know that requires community service hours. I mean, there's no eyes wide shut going on here. Most cults insulate people from society. Here we talk about cultish behavior. Most cults keep you away from family. They don't install you back into the community. We literally schedule service on Saturdays. We make it known who we are. Something powerful happens when educated, motivated black people gather regularly. Ideas happen, networks form, opportunities open, movements are born. Historically, black fraternities and sororities created rooms where professionals, thinkers, pastors, activists, and educators could challenge each other and grow. That's not conspiracy. That's community organization at its finest. Another criticism I hear is fraternities make people conform. But here's the irony. Many of us discovered who we were because of these organizations. Yes, there are shared values. But inside those values, you learn leadership style, purpose, responsibility, and how you show up in the world. You don't lose individuality. You enhance it. You refine it. It's like jazz. Everybody knows the key, but everybody's solo is different. Now, let's address the big scary word. See, black people have always needed protected spaces. Enslaved people planned escapes in secret. That's kind of how it happened, you know? Civil rights strategies were organized in secret. Even churches held meetings behind closed doors when public safety wasn't guaranteed. Privacy is not evil, and symbolism is not worship. Having colors, symbols, rituals, and traditions does not automatically make something spiritual or idolatrous. And I really wish we had some perspective about that. Because symbols are just that. If symbols equaled worship, we're going to have a long conversation about these choir robes, communion cups, and church anniversaries. If symbols equal worship, then we have to stand and apologize to Muslims who criticize Christian churches for having iconography everywhere. We don't worship the cross, but the cross appears everywhere. We worship Jesus, but the cross appears everywhere. It's our iconography. We don't worship angels, but yet you go to churches, you'll see angels. Even if they're progressive church and the angel's black, it's still iconography. What are we doing? Let me say this respectfully. I've never seen a cult argue as much as fraternities do. I mean, really. Communities arguing with communities. Alumni arguing with undergraduates. Everybody debating bylaws like it's Congress. And if this is brainwashing, it's extremely inefficient. Oh my God. So this series is not about winning arguments. It's about having some honest conversations. Why is this argument happening now? What is the purpose of breaking down black institutions? Why make it a point of spiritual impurity to be part of one? Why is grace inefficient here? How is it that I serve a God that will tell me that if meat offends your brother, don't eat the meat, and literally mean don't eat it in front of him, because when he's gone, you can eat the meat again, and yet that be grace enough to handle that situation, but we don't have grace enough to deal with each other? How do these things work? Why is this the situation we're dealing with now? We're going to have honest conversations. Over the next episodes, I'm going to talk with pastors, historians, fraternity members, sorority members, critics, and everyday people. We're going to ask some real questions. What are fraternities actually for? Where did these concerns come from? Can faith and fraternity coexist? Why do black institutions seem to face cycles of suspicion every generation? There's always something. Before we dismantle something that has helped shape black leadership for more than a century, maybe we should understand it first. So welcome to the conversation, To In Defense Of. It's my new video series where I'm going to defend some things. Every once in a while, you got some sacred cows. Sometimes you got some new thoughts. You got to figure out what's going on. We got to defend what's good. In the next episode, we're going to talk about why this debate is happening inside the black church right now, because timing matters. Well, thank you. If you stayed this long, I appreciate you hanging out here with me. I want you to like and subscribe. I want you to share this. This is going to be the place where we rebut some of these things. I see people claiming to be authorities on things that they know nothing about. Also claiming in error to set at correction things that are not even out of bounds. It's okay. That's why we're here, so we can talk about it all. I look forward to talking to you. Hopefully you look forward to talking to me. This is going to be a great thing, a great place. One time for your mind. I'll see you next time. Take care. Hey, thank you guys for watching this long. I really appreciate you being here with me. Listen, like and subscribe this video, share it with somebody. I really believe that these types of discussions are really going to be rewarding as we have them together. Listen, comment below if you have some questions, if you have some comments. If you don't agree with anything I said, that's all right. Put it in the comments. If you agree with everything I said, that's even better. Put it in the comments. Be looking out for the next set of videos. Church Top 10 is coming. We're going to talk about the 10 greatest male singers of all time in the gospel music arena. And I want you to be there when we talk about it. But there's so much more to do. Thank you guys for being with me. I'll talk to you the next time. We cannot lose.